guys, Double Wide 6. Today we're going to be looking at Tekton's half-inch 84-piece ratchet set. We're going to start out by taking a look at the case. First of all, it's about 4.5 inches tall, 23 long, and about 16 or so wide. So it may fit in a large toolbox drawer if you needed it to. There's 4 clips. They seem to be well built. They're not going to break. They're not flimsy or anything. And if you get in here, I like the way they have this organized. You have all your metric sockets on the right and all your SAE sockets on the left. Tekton has several ratchet sets. They have 1/4 inch sets and 3/8 inch sets and also some mixed sets. They're a lot like this set, however, they're just smaller obviously because this is the half-inch set. I'm going to put links in the description where you can look at their different sets. Included in this 84-piece half-inch ratchet set, you get metric sizes 10 all the way down to 32, and it has shallow and deep sockets without skipping any numbers. And on the SAE side, it goes from 3/8 all the way up to 1 5/16, both shallow and deep. You also get a universal joint, a 3-inch extension, a 10-inch extension, a breaker bar, and you get the 72-tooth ratchet with the set. What I like about the set is you get everything you need. It's neatly organized. If you're going to go out and work on your car or your truck, you can just take the entire case. You can carry it fairly easily. You can store it easily. When you get to the job, you just open it up and it has everything that you're going to need. It's all there. So I like the fact that you got everything. You're not running back and forth for tools. Now we're going to take a look at the fit and finish of these guys. They have a mirror chrome finish on here, and the numbers are stamped in. This one happens to say 28 millimeters. They could make this number a little bigger and it would be easier to read. The socket itself is a 6-point socket. It has rounded corners which help to protect the fasteners that you take out. And generally 6-point sockets are better for not stripping fasteners because they can lock on better than say like a 12-point fastener. Here's a look at another socket, and this one's not, this is a shallow socket, but you can see there's definitely good quality in these tools. They feel good in your hands. I really have no complaint about them. I have their flex head wrenches, and they're the same quality. They're really good looking tools. So we'll take a look at the ratchet. Once again, a great finish on here. Feels really good in your hand. You can't put the socket on unless you push the button. So it has the spring-loaded button, and the socket will slip right on, and that'll lock it in place. I haven't had any sockets slip off. I'm trying to pull it off right now, and I can't get it to pull off. To take it off, once again, you just press the button and it releases easily. So that seems real good. On the back, you have your forward and reverse. You can see I engraved on and off on here. Some of my other ratchets have that, and I really like that, so I just engraved that on there. But the ratchet seems really nice, and as I said, it's a 72-tooth ratchet, which means you get, I think they said 5-degree swing on the website. So that means that you don't have to turn the ratchet much for it to click. Okay, and if you're in a real tight area, it'll help you out. I know I have a Craftsman ratchet that has like a much wider swing than that, and it's really hard to get in tight places. So you can use your 6-point socket and really get into anywhere because of the 72-tooth ratchet. So just for kicks, we're going to pull apart this ratchet and check out how the mechanism inside actually works. So there's just a couple torques. There's your 72 tooth gear, and you can see the little pawls in here, and it looks like there's springs from when you switch it. Here's a look at how this one here is the Tekton. You can see I have it next to some snap-on ratchets, and it's about the same size. When we put the socket on here, we'll listen to this. It has a much louder click than my other ones, but you can hear how fine those teeth are in there. Try another ratchet and give you a comparison. So that's definitely much quieter. Another thing, the snap-on ratchets have the on and off stamped on there, which I really like. And this ratchet actually has an oiler up top, so you can oil the gear mechanism. So that's a closer look at the ratchet for you. It's very nice that they give you the breaker bar with the set, because what a lot of people want to do is, you know, if they don't have that leverage, they'll put a pipe on the ratchet. But you got to keep in mind, this ratchet has a 72 tooth gear, so that's fine gears in there, and with a lot of extra torque on there, you can end up stripping the gear, breaking your ratchet with any ratchet. So they give you the breaker bar, and this has nice good long length, and I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a ball bearing in there on a spring, and it actually locks into place. So you can, when you go to put it in the fastener, you know, it'll hold right where you want it. It's not going to be like wobbling. So I like that design. They give you a universal joint, which is handy. The universal joint, the problem I find with these are that when you have a socket on there, it doesn't hold it, particularly a long socket. And most universal joints from sets can't really hold, you know, a heavy, deep socket like that. So usually what I'll do is I'll take that universal joint and I'll just wrap it with some tape so it doesn't have quite as much movement. And that works for me. Maybe when they design these, it would be nice if you could tighten up these fasteners here to set the tension. When I did my tool review on the flex head wrenches, someone asked me, you know, how much weight this can hold. It can hold a fair amount, but once again, it would be nice if you could adjust this fastener here. And I tried tightening this Torx fastener, but it didn't, you know, change the amount of tension on the flex head. Another thing I wanted to point out about these wrenches that someone mentioned is I ended up writing on and off on these. Someone in my comments commented that the side that says Tekton is always the on side, and so he said that you could you know, Tekton tighten, so TT, and that might help you figure out which way when you grab the wrench randomly. The 10-inch extension is real nice. I like the fact that it has this knurled edge so that you can spin out the fastener. I haven't seen sockets that have a knurled edge, but I think that might be nice on sockets as well sometimes if you're just turning out a fastener. But you know, it could be prohibitive if it's rubbing up against something when you take the fastener out. I decided to come out here and try and loosen up a fastener, and I found that when they put my plow on, they never tightened up the front bumper. I never noticed it. So there's 4 bolts that are ready to be tightened. So here's the fastener, and it's a 19 millimeter. And you can see how nicely that ratchet just fits in there. Alright, that one's nice and snug, and I already did the other side, and the problem is, this ratchet's not small enough to fit in here, because this thing's in an odd place, but, you know, that's kind of what happens when you're working on cars. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this Tekton flex head wrench, and we'll see if that can get in there. There we go. And it is a pretty tight fit, even for this wrench. Now I think you might be able to see it better. But without the flex head, I wouldn't be able to get this one. And I can't go straight down either because there's some metal here. And it's a very tight confined area, so there's only a couple degrees of turning. But I can get in there, and that's pretty much the point there. So hopefully you can see that. Now that the nut's in a little bit, I can switch over to the 1/2-inch ratchet to get more leverage on it. I wanted to mention that they don't have a specific spark plug socket. Generally the 16 millimeter will work. For cars, a lot of the sockets are 5/8, and it has the 13/16, so it just doesn't have the rubber grommet inside, so it's not going to actually hold the plug, so you got to be careful that the plug won't fall out or you don't damage it. But you can use the sockets to remove spark plugs if you need to. I have several of Tekton's tools. I have their torque wrenches, both 3/8 and 1/4 inch. I have some gear pullers and some hand tools, snap ring pliers, and I've been really happy with the quality of the tools. I haven't had any issues. If you ever do have an issue, they do have a lifetime warranty, which is really easy to get you a new tool. And you know, this kit, I think it's a really nice kit if you're working on cars and bigger stuff. If you need a smaller kit, I'm going to put links to the 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch kits, and also the flex wrenches that I have down in the description. So let me know what you think of this socket set down there in the comments. And if you're not a subscriber, please think about subscribing. Take care, guys.